the Joshua Morales podcast, right here.
Boom. All right, boom. So we are here with Vinny D. Vinny D, you're missed. You're missed here in the Valley. When you left to Austin, a lot of people were pissed.
Maybe just my mom.
No, I think when I was looking through social media when you were talking about leaving, there was a ton of people that are like, "Oh, we're gonna miss Vinny," but they're happy for you.
Yeah, you know what? You're not lying. Actually, I told my neighbor actually up in Austin, because they don't know what Vinny is or anything like that. They know me as Anthony. They know just me, and I told them, I said, people were mad. People were pissed that I moved. It's more of it's the Valley. You know, we love cheeseman. We love to hate. I'm a fucking huge hater. I love to hate. Can we say fuck?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is unfiltered here, man.
So I found myself reading more, oh my God, you're moving to Austin. Oh, here it goes kind of thing. Mario Salazar, the comedian, it makes a big joke out of it, though. Like, him and I are cool. But there were some people that were nasty. They were a little more negative towards the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? My girlfriend got a promotion at work, and it made, you know, her move to Austin, and we've been together 6 years, 6 or 7 years. I don't know that shit. 6 years, and I wasn't going to make her go by herself. I didn't have much going on down here at the time, except for just emceeing some gigs here and there, and I wasn't actually full-time employed, so it was like a really good time to go, and I couldn't let her go by herself, you know.
How do you like Austin?
I'm getting used to it. I never wanted to move to Austin in a million fucking years, dude. I would go there. I've been there maybe 4 times total. And I always told Miranda, I've been there with Miranda every time we've gone, my girlfriend. And for those that don't know who Miranda is, and I told her, I was like, man, there's so much fucking traffic. This is not for me. Man. But we live in the northwest side, so it's kind of like McAllen almost. Okay. It's not too busy, but once 5 o'clock rolls around, man, holy shit!
Yeah.
You're talking like 15 minutes to drive a mile.
Oh shit!
It's pretty bad.
It sucks. Austin is one of those places that I love to go just to visit. Yeah. And then come back. Like, all right, I got it out of my system. I
was really cool with just that. And I'll tell you what, since we've been there, we've done a lot of concert going. We've seen some of our favorite musical acts. In fact, Miranda was at a show 2 nights ago. She saw Two Door Cinema Club.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and she's been a big fan of that band for a long time, and she was like, I can't believe they're going to be here in Austin. I got to get the tickets. So she went, and it's funny because we'll go see what we went to see, and then we just book it right back home, and we've got our booze at home, we've got our food at home. We're like, look, it's like our little mini version of going into Austin and coming back to the Valley. But it's now that we live there, we go into Austin and we come right back up. We're about maybe, how can I say, about maybe 5 minutes from Pflugerville and maybe about 15 minutes from Round Rock. So we're way north.
Right.
We're very, very north. It's the craziest shit is about Austin. You can drive for 45 minutes and still be in Austin.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, dude. So
it's insane. I love Austin, dude. But like I said, I like to go. I like to come back, and that's it. Like, I got it out of my system. But it's a very family-friendly place.
It really is.
That's really what I like about that, because I can take my daughter. Like, I always talk about Austin. Like, I love Austin. I always tell my daughter, like, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna hang out when you get older. Yeah. That way you can take me drinking and you can drive.
You can pick me up from the bar. That's what I already told my daughter Allison. She's 13, and I told her we live about 0.2 of a mile from Palmer Lane Tavern, and Palmer Road is like 10th Street. It's a really busy street, and we live in a little neighborhood called the Lamplight Village, and it's a really cool little neighborhood. It's just condensed with homes. There are so many people in this neighborhood. There's cars all over the street. I'm talking like there are tons of people there. So I told Allie, I go, hey, it's really okay if I can drive home drunk because I live close to the bar. She's like, Dad, that's not how that works. And I said, you're exactly right. That's not how that works.
Oh, geez, man. So I see your beard's growing out, man. It's a lot shorter than it was last time.
I took down the sides, and I'm just kind of concentrating on just like the goatee. Have you also noticed a lot more of the gray coming through?
Oh yeah,
it's peppered and salt and peppered real nice.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. So you're still young, man. You're young as fuck.
I'd like to think so, yeah.
I'm 38, dude. When I talk to a 20-year-old on my podcast, I don't feel like a fucking dinosaur, man.
Yeah.
So they have a complete different way, mind frame of thinking, dude.
It's more. Everybody's on social media. You can talk to the same person in 3 different platforms. Yeah. Miranda, my girlfriend, is 7 years younger than me. And she will be messaging me when I had Snapchat. She'll be messaging me on Snap and texting me a different conversation. So I would reply inside of Snap to the text conversation. She'll be like, go back to the text and respond to that.
That's not how this works.
It's like, what the fuck? First off, call me. You know, when I call my daughter, hey, I'm on the way home from work. I'm taking a quick break. I'm going to be home. Okay, why didn't you just text me? She thinks it's fucking weird that I call. I'm like, I'm a phone call guy. I like to call, and I still leave voicemails. I have to leave a voicemail. I always do some stupid shit on somebody's voicemail. You know,
it's an interesting world we live in with social media because I don't know if you're on TikTok yet. So TikTok,
dude, I'm the worst at everything. I'm on Facebook. Yeah, I'm just on Facebook.
Yeah, so I like you were talking about, you have different conversations on different social media. So my Facebook stuff kind of looks similar to my Instagram stuff, but my stories are completely different than my Instagram posts. And my language on LinkedIn is completely different than Facebook. My TikTok stuff is geared towards more younger demographic of children, right? It's weird, dude. I was seriously doubting getting onto TikTok because the audience there, my audience right now, I think I have a little over 2,000 people. But most of my audience is 75% female, and they're between the ages of 6 and 12. It's crazy.
That's wild, huh?
It's so weird. And I was like,
you think about it. You think about it when you were the ages between 6 and 12. Yeah. I was not interested in seeing what anybody else wanted to do. I was outside playing in the dirt, you know?
Yeah. It's weird because there's a lot of older people on the obviously on the platform too. And a lot of it's super inappropriate for kids.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some TikTok videos and a lot of it is cringy. Yeah. A lot of it is cringy. You see a lot of these backwood people singing. That's the best way I could put it, dude. Singing like rap songs and they're really into it. Yeah. Like they look like they're making a music video, but it's a little cringy. Like I get really uncomfortable watching it. I liked one that you put up, the
avocado one. Oh,
yeah. I was sitting there at work on break and I was watching it and I see you brush your teeth, but then I see you actually really laugh. You know, you actually really laughed, and that makes me laugh. When I see people really react like a natural, organic laugh, you know, and within like trying to fake it, kind of not fake it, but you know, you're doing something for the camera, but then you really actually laugh, and that shit really gets me.
It's authenticity, man. I think that's what social media is really about, and I think that's how you grow a personal brand going into 2020. That's what social media is all about. Yeah. I mean, having these type of things where the internet literally opened up the world for creators.
Everybody now has something to say, and that's just fucking tough. You gotta hear it. You know what I mean?
So I always ask this to everybody: is it a bad thing or a good thing that everybody has a voice, regardless if it's right or wrong?
Yeah, I've heard you ask this question before. I think it's fine. If you don't want to follow somebody or listen to their bullshit, you can just unfriend them. You can block them. You can unfollow them. There's so many different options. When you try to, I think the person that tries to silence somebody and says, well, that's stupid, or wow, that song fucking sucks. Or for example, I can share a picture of a beer and people will say, well, that's fucking gross. I don't know how you fucking drink that. That's fucking disgusting. Well, to you, maybe. Yeah. Because you're an asshole. I'm not. But I'm a different kind of asshole. But no, yeah, I think the person that tries to shut it down and say, no, that's not the general cool or the general idea of what's good. I like the people that actually speak their own mind. They're like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. You know? I guess they're not trying to like sugarcoat anything or lie about what they think is cool, just for some likes, really.
And I play into both worlds because I have a business, right? So I'm trying to grow my business.
Which, by the way, you're killing it out there.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying, man. I'm working hard, but I'm trying to play within the lines because it's very hard when I have a certain clientele that have really good stature, and then I'm drinking tequila on a podcast. Yeah. So I'm navigating the only way I know how to do.
Speaking of,
yes, we need to jump this. So
what do you got here?
This is Don Sueños tequila, and we got the good stuff, the anejo, and it's pretty cool because Charlie Sheen is co-owner of this.
Oh shit! Don't smell it. I got the chills. You see my arm fucking twitched. Cheers,
all right, let's get this going.
Give it a little tap.
Tell me what you think.
I gotta get out of my mustache. Wow, dude.
It's not harsh. It's not.
That's super smooth.
It's really good. So we'll take another shot in a bit.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to take too many shots.
We'll just do one more.
I worked yesterday from 8 p.m. I work overnight now at HEB. I do. It's called the Total Store Sanitation Team. Really, there's two of us. It's not even like a team. But what we do is we go in. We disinfect the department once the department people, like the employees or our partners rather, have done their duties. They've shut down, they've cleaned up, they've done what they have to do to shut down. Then I come in and we disinfect everything. We'll take apart the machines. We'll scrub the walls, we'll scrub the floors, then we go back and we foam everything. So it takes a good 8 hours to do 4 departments. Yeah. So I work from 8 p.m. to 4 in the morning. And when I come to the Valley, I like to spend all day here because I don't get enough time here really anymore. Man, this stuff is making my mouth water. It's so good.
It's good. It's good stuff.
So I'm like, anyway.
So what do you miss the most about the Valley?
I miss being close to everything. We have a lot of shit around the house, right? But I'm very familiar with it. I grew up here. Yeah. I'm from New York originally, but I came here when I was 7, so I'm from the Valley. That's just bottom line. And is that a plane?
It's an airplane. It's making it up.
I thought it sounded like a song beginning. I was like, what? But yeah, I know. I miss knowing where the fuck I'm going, and I miss direction because I'm so turned around up there. Over here, you got 10th Street, 23rd, you got Nolana. Everything is like north and south, east or west. There's no curve. Actually, you have a what do they call the traffic circle?
Yeah, it's right here next to the school.
That's big city shit right there. That's cool. I still don't know how to do them. And I was like, wow, Josh lives in one of these nice neighborhoods. He's got a fucking traffic circle out here. Which, by the way, were you doing yard work right now?
No, I'm trying to get rid of that thing, dude. I've had it in my... Actually, I hired a guy to come do my grass because I hate that shit.
The reason why I'm asking Josh this question, for those that have no idea why I just asked that, is because I pulled up and he has a fresh cut lawn, front yard, and there's a lawnmower just sitting right next to the mailbox with like a sign that says
$20. $20 bucks. So I've been trying to get rid of that thing forever. I cleaned out my garage because I'm going to try to do some more like green screen stuff in the future.
Cool.
And nobody's bitten on that thing. I got a guy yesterday as like, was that the cheapest you'll take? I was like, no, take it for 10. He's like, nah, all right.
What?
I was like,
what does he want it for? $650?
So I've been trying to get rid of that thing for a while, man. I've gotten so busy with life, with family, stuff like that. It takes a long time to cut my grass.
Did that lawnmower you're trying to sell for $20 cut this grass?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
Because I was saying, that does a really good job.
I don't even know if it works, honestly, but somebody can fix that.
Josh,
for $10?
$20 for a non-working lawnmower.
Somebody can fix that stuff, man.
Yeah, actually, they probably could.
Especially here.
They're waiting for that sign to come off.
I know, just take it. I wouldn't even mind if somebody takes it.
There's a yard crew literally 2 houses down right now eyeballing it.
Oh, geez. So let's talk about the manliest beard competition.
Yeah, manliest beard competition. Hey, thanks for bringing me back this year, man. Dude. What is this going to be? It'll be the 3rd year I'm involved. I've never been involved in beard competitions.
This is the 4th year, actually.
But I wasn't involved in the first time.
No, you weren't the first one. I believe it was the second one.
I was involved in the second one as host. And then a third one I competed, and now this is the fourth one. I'll be hosting it again.
Yeah,
I have so much fun at these things. Like I really do. And man, you do a really good job. Actually, there's only 2 people that do beard competitions, and you guys are really both really cool guys. So I really enjoy the Manliest Beard Competition. It's a packed event every year.
The music I love. I love the part that we incorporate music, because that's really what the Valley's about.
Yeah,
I think we have a huge population of people that love to play music, and the artists that you actually brought. Yeah.
This year is gonna be amazing, dude. Spoonfed and the Riverside Boys.
Nice.
That's gonna be really cool. Is this gonna come out before the 27th?
Probably not, but
Okay.
I might. I mean, I'm not sure, because these things, a lot of my stuff I pre-record and then I slowly push it out, and that's one of the content models that I subscribe to, is they create so much content and then you slowly push it out so you don't run out of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the last thing I want to do is like not have an episode next week.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. I was just wondering, because if it did come out, then I could say, ooh, Spoonfed and the Riverside Boys. Wait until you see it. But since it's coming out after, hey, how was it? I didn't fucking lie. It was so good.
Well, I'm probably going to use that as a clip for something anyways, man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Spoonfed, I met Spoonfed at... I feel like shit when I say that I meet somebody for the first time and they're like, no, man, like we met like a few times before. And I'm just, you know how some people say they're bad with names or they're bad with faces? I'm bad with both. Like it took me a while to learn your name and know not your face, because you've got a great face.
Oh, thank you.
You got a great face. Yeah, like I've dubbed you the Paul Rudd of the Valley.
So what is that? Because I heard you say that a few times. I was like, that has to be a compliment, because Paul is fucking
Paul
awesome.
Rudd's the fucking best. Paul, you're the Paul Rudd of the internet of the Valley. I always say that because you're the Paul Rudd of the Valley. You're a likable guy. Everybody likes you. And you're just a great looking dude.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
By the way, we're alone in the house today.
We have Joseph here, man.
Oh, Joseph. Yeah, Joseph's running around, a little dog. But yeah, man, Manliest Beard Competition is going to be, it's going to be cool, because right now we're recording and it hasn't come out yet, but you guys are listening to it. It has already happened. But
it's going to be an interesting event, because when I first started it, I had goals of taking it out of bars. So eventually I want to take it to like a convention center or something when it gets big enough.
Yeah.
Right. So right now I'm just trying to build up the brand.
I think with the right, how can I say, basically what I'm trying to say, what I'm going to try to say is going to boil down to throwing money at the motherfucker. Yeah. If you could get the right, because we're getting really good locals. I hate to downplay a local band by any means, because these bands are just as good as some of the bands that we love and listen to today. Yeah, it's just that they're local and they're just not known, and people put that, local fucking brand on them. But what I'm saying is somebody that everybody knows, even people without, a group of people without beards, are going just for the entertainment. Yeah. I can guarantee the Riverside Boys and Spoonfed will bring in people that are there just for them, maybe not even bearded. But I think with the right musical talent, maybe another kind of a comedian or something, but like I said, on a huge scale, that would be for the Valley Convention Center style. Yeah. In a big city, I think maybe you could probably just right off the bat pull it off inside of a convention center. There's so many people. And up in Austin, everybody's got a beard. Even girls have beards.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit, right?
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of bearded women up in HEB. It's a little wild.
It's weird, because every year I get asked if I'm going to have a female part, so the females compete. And I was like, well, I've never seen female with a beard.
I come from an Italian family, so the females all of my family have beards. No, but you know what? You can do like we do in the other beard competition. They do the fake beard.
Okay,
it's so females and children can be involved. But I think that beard competition is a different kind of competition compared to what you've got going on. Just from my observation, that's it works for that one. For us, we over here at Manliest Beard, it's just more high pace, and It's just, I don't know. We've never really had families come out.
Yeah.
Do you remember families coming out?
Not really, because it's usually at bars, and I'm trying to cater it to the manliest beard, right? So the men, of course, I want something. There's always something now when you have to be politically correct with everything. Yeah. So maybe I'll fucking get sued one day for having the manliest beard competition instead of something else, man. I mean,
toughest.
I don't understand where the world's going, but
most gender biased beard competition.
It's a strange world we live in, man. Like, do you see that stuff in Austin?
Yeah. What do you mean,
like as far as like
weird fucking people?
No, that I know for sure. But I'm saying like so I had Claire Hesh, which was the 20-year Gen Zer I was talking about, and she specializes in how groups, I guess they filter themselves into certain groups. So she was telling me that the LGBT plus whatever how many letters there are, they actually segment themselves into certain groups within themselves. So
there's little offshoots.
Yes, which is mind blowing to me, dude. Yeah. Like, when did this happen?
I think it's always been there. I think now we just have social media. Like right now, I'm looking over your shoulder, and we can see whatever's going on in everybody's life right at this exact moment. Yeah. And in your life, what is it? Pornhub up over there?
That's a dental clinic, all right?
Just kidding.
Let's get that clear.
Dentalhub.com.
It's just a strange world, man. I don't know, because I feel really uncomfortable having my kids grow up in this world.
Really? Dude, yeah. Let me tell you something. My daughter, when she came up to Austin, I moved up to Austin about maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to my daughter moving up with me. We had a little bit of a fiasco down here, and caused her to, well, not caused her. She always wanted to live with me. And in no way, shape, or form am I putting her mom down, because she's a good mom and all that good stuff. What I'm saying is, down here in the valley, and I've talked to my neighbor. Let me see if I can put all this together in order. I talked to my neighbor once Allison came up. My neighbor has a daughter the same age as Allison. She's a year older. She's a freshman. My daughter's in 8th grade. So my neighbor is black and Mexican. He's a self-proclaimed Blaxican, okay? And he's from Port Lavaca, but he lives in Austin. And he has a white wife, and his kids look like they're white, but they're mixed. And he has the most respectful group of children you'd ever meet. Every time they see me, they're waving. Hey, Anthony, how are you? They ask me how I'm doing, and I'm like, what? Do you really want to know? I mean, I could sit here for hours and talk to you. But, okay, so she comes up, and my daughter is super excited for diversity. She's like, I can't wait to see other people. And she doesn't know how to say what she's trying to say, because she's only 13. And what she wanted to say was, excuse me, that was just for you, the listener. She's trying to say that here in the Valley, you have either white kids or Mexican kids. And when I started thinking about what she was trying to say, she's not wrong. Down here, if growing up, if we had an Indian kid or a black kid or any other kind of race or whatever, it was because of something. It wasn't because they just lived here. For example, I told my neighbor, if there's a tall black gentleman walking down the street or a tall black female walking down the road in Edinburgh by the college, well, they play basketball for the college. And it sounds small-minded. It sounds stereotypical, but that's how we grew up down here, right. Which is why my daughter was so excited just to see kids just because they lived there. And she was super excited, and he goes, man, my nigga, I ain't never heard anything like that before. That is crazy. He's a super great guy. He's a super good guy. By the way, turn your phone off, Josh. Anyway,
I'm a business owner, man.
This is your podcast. Don't listen to me. I automatically come into these things like just bossing people around. Hey, turn my level up, goddammit. So she came up and was really super excited she has black friends. She's got Asian friends. She's got all different kinds of friends, and my daughter is loving it. Yeah. She's just like, wow, Dad, like this is the stuff I see on TV. You know what I mean? Like,
And I think that's a world that people like. Obviously, your daughter, she wants that. She wants those relationships.
Yeah.
I just find it very strange, like the world that we live in, especially here in the Valley, where we're closed-minded,
very closed-minded people down here. Yeah,
it's a strange thing because we live so close to the border, and even within, if we go to the next city over, there's a different type of Mexican.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
it's so weird.
If you go to Donna, you might get shanked. If you go to McAllen, you might get offered a meal. If you go to Edinburgh, it depends on what side of the track it is. You can get shanked or get offered a meal.
It's an interesting, interesting world we live in.
It really is, man. But it's all just different types of Mexican people around here, and it's getting. I can't say better because it's getting more diverse. Hey, look, the yard crew is taking off. They're gonna come down here and inquire about the lawnmower.
They look at my lawnmower and they're like, nah.
Yeah,
I got better stuff than this.
Hombre, el pinche science to there. I'm waiting for the gratis.
There you go.
Hey, Joseph.
Oh, you shut him up, man.
That's right, Joseph. God damn it. Joseph, we're making content.
This is the unfiltered stuff we were talking about, the real, authentic stuff.
So it's organic. I like using that word, organic. I enjoy the fact that if somebody wants to be a girl and they're born a man because they say they feel like that, and now it's a little more accepted. It's accepted and it's not, but it's more accepted now than it was maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Definitely.
I can get behind somebody that's able to say what they really are. They can express themselves because it probably feels really good to be able to say what you really are.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's something to somebody else, like I don't know. I just I'm okay with it. There's going to be creeps everywhere you go, no matter what.
I just feel like if somebody's let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And they're not hurting anybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Once they start hurting people, then I'm going to fuck shit up.
Yeah. It's just, I don't get people sometimes. Like, there's a lot of closed-minded people, and you have those keyboard warriors that are on social media.
Hey, let me tell you something about keyboard fucking warriors, man. Let me tell you something about that. I have one troll that I see in public, and this man has disrespected me in a way where that's not just, fun banter back and forth. This motherfucker has told me shit. I've stared in his fucking eyes when he walks past me out in public, and he keeps his head down. I saw him not too long ago, and he was speaking to a gentleman that was standing right next to me and failed to make eye contact with me. And I said, hey, you can troll me all fucking day on Facebook, but you can't even shake my hand. I put my hand out to him. And he looked so scared, so awkward, but I stood there and just gave him my hand. And I shook his hand. Like, don't be a bitch in fucking real life. There was a guy that made a post the other day and says, sometimes I get annoyed with how everyone can just say anything, including myself. I'm no exception. But this one guy was like, yo, I'm ready to tell anybody that what they think is fucking stupid right now. And I put, in person? And he never responded. Come on. Like, you don't got to do that.
Yeah, it's like I always say, I just keep going back to it's a very strange world we live in.
Yeah,
it's just, you can hide behind a keyboard.
I unfriended a female the other day because she had like a want ad, literally, for a stepdad. For her kid. Hey, my kid's fun and this and that, yada yada. So if you want this and that. Another maybe 2 or 3 days later, she's like, oh, well, the ex is all mad because I fucked another guy. Wow, now he's crying. Treat your woman right. You know what? I don't need to know all that.
Yeah.
To me, that's fucking pathetic. So I had to unfriend this certain female. And I don't. If I don't want to see it, I'm going to unfriend it, or I'll unfollow. If it's relative, I'll unfollow them, because you don't want to unfriend a relative.
And that's how easy it is. If you unfriend, boom, you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see it. Yeah,
I don't think people understand it. Like, they love the gossip. They love to get pulled into that world.
So yesterday or the day before, you saw all the shit that happened with
Bonnie. Yeah, I heard about that. I was gonna talk to you about that.
So the only thing that did for her was today everybody's listening to her. Everybody, even the people that fucking despise her, are listening. And I shared a picture. Someone put the okay boomer shit all over her face. And I shared it for the simple fact that I just put, this is doing nothing but helping her ratings. There's nothing you can do to a DJ on air, unless he's a fucking pedophile or some murderer or some shit, that will hurt his ratings. Back when I was on the queue, a couple of girls, some douchebag girls, didn't like some shit that I said on Facebook, and they tried to get me fired for like a week straight. They tried to take fucking food off of my table.
Wow.
Because for the simple fact that they couldn't just unfollow me or unfriend me. They called my job nonstop. So what happened was they made a group, and it was titled "Get That Sexist Vinny D Fired from Q94.5."
Is that how you know when you've made it?
No,
I'm still waiting for mine, man.
This is how you know you've made it. When your boss calls you the following morning and he goes, "What the fuck did you do?" And I was like, what happened? The only time you get a phone call like that is when you forgot to put auto and your playlist is just that dead air.
Yeah.
That's a big fuck up. I was like, well, no, I double checked. I know for a fact. I pushed auto and there's music playing. I said, what's going on? This is Alex Duran. And he goes, well, there's some fucking girls calling that you said some shit about fucking, about girls being sluts on Facebook. And I was like, holy shit, what? You know you've made it. When the vice president, the brand new vice president, she had just started of Entravision, she sat me down and she was a sweetheart, man. Mr. Vinny, is it Vinny? Okay, I want to tell you, I don't condone such behavior, but your ratings have gone up 1,500% overnight. I was like, yeah. So I got up and walked out, and I was like, huh.
I'm on to something.
Yeah, this is going to be really good. I'm going to start fucking talking shit about all kinds of people.
So that whole thing that happened with Q94.5, I've always been interested in what the hell happened. Like, nobody knows. Nobody knows to this day. But you have insider information.
Yeah, well, and people still ask me till this day, actually. Hey, man, are you still on a queue? What happened over there? Basically, from one day to the next, budget cuts took the jobs of like 126 people across 3 different markets. The McAllen market, I guess, the El Paso, and I think somewhere in I might be getting the cities wrong, but 3 different places, 3 different Entravision buildings got cut. And we were round 1. So that was myself, Marianne, Big Al and Charlie, E-Rock, John Neely, like 5 of 4 minus myself. Huge people that I listened to growing up. Yeah. You know, like it was, nobody knows how they picked the people that got let go. They don't know how they picked the people that stayed. But basically, I didn't know. The whole valley knew I was let go before I even knew. Okay. I was on the way to a cancer charity event to host, and I'm sitting in the car, and I called Alex Duran because apparently they had been talking about how the queue was, everybody was fired. I was like, I'm not fucking fired. That's fucking fake. No one called me, and no one called me. Yeah. I called him, and he's like, and no one has a job anymore, so don't fucking show up on Monday. And he was pissed, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Seriously, tell me what's going on. I don't know, okay? All I know is don't fucking show up Monday, okay? Bye. And he just hung up, and I was like, wow. As we pull up to Yerberia, and I have to do this Super Ramy and Friends. You know Super Ramy and Friends. I have to do an event for them, and I had to force a smile the whole night, and my whole fucking world, I thought, was crumbling in front of me. Like, holy shit, this is my dream job. Yeah. And now, shortly, a couple years later, it's just being pulled out from underneath me. But yeah, basically, it was just a budget cut situation. And I want to say that, they kept Rock around because his ratings have just always been great. And I'm more than positive he kept his 2 best friends just because he had that kind of pull, which is fine. I mean, no big deal. I thought at the time that was the only thing that I had going for me. And now where I'm at and what I'm doing, I have my daughter living with me. I have a really good full-time job with Benny's. Like, they didn't offer that in radio. And we've got a really good little thing going on. And I think that what I thought was the best version of me on the radio is nothing compared to what I feel now. Yeah. yeah, man. So I feel almost like maybe I shouldn't have reacted the way I did, but at the same time, you don't know what's gonna come.
Exactly.
So
yeah, life is very strange. I had a few conversations with some buddies that were like, "Shit, man, I'm going through some tough times right now." It was like, you always get past it. Like we're human.
Yeah, but
like,
at the time it's happening. It's like your first breakup, your first really hardcore true love breakup. I was just watching that 70s show the other night, and Eric Foreman and Donna broke up, and he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna lay here," and Red's like, "Come on, let me put my foot in your ass, or start to feel better," kind of thing. But yeah, man, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. You just know that at that moment you feel terrible.
Yeah.
So
the world of radio and social media, how has social media disrupted radio?
Oh man. People are down here. Down here, radio is almost like nothing. You can get an ad on the radio for really cheap compared to what you could have gotten back, or what you would have gotten back in the day when it was at its height. When I went up to Austin, we were house hunting. I was driving past billboards for radio stations. And to me, down here, that's weird.
Yeah.
You would see the face of the morning guys. Hey, catch them all week at 6 a.m, blah, blah, blah. And we drove past the first one, and I didn't say anything. I just kind of made a mental note. I was like, hey, that's cool. Must be an old billboard. Then another couple miles down the road, you see 2 more. And then I finally said something to Miranda. I said, did you see these 2 radio station billboards? Like, they're advertising on billboards up here for radio. So I asked our realtor, hey, is radio big up here? She's like, it's huge. And dude, I haven't heard the same song twice up there. Like they have a radio station for everything. One that I'm really digging is the ACL radio. So it's like all the artists that have ever been on ACL, let's take it back to 2013 when Jimmy Eat World played, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll just play like Sweetness or something, you know? But I think in a smaller area down here where you've only got one rock station, you've only got one Tejano, oh, you got a lot of Tejano stations, but main ones, you've only got the Mix 107.9. They're not like Wild 104. Yeah. Wild 104 apparently has 16 to like 20-year-olds, and then Mix has older, like, you know, the 36-year-olds. They got it turned down at work and stuff like that. But you've got one of everything. Yeah. Up there, you've got every frequency. It's every frequency, but down here, social media has completely thrown a wrench in the spoke. Like, I think it's a good thing. Yeah. I really do, because fucking radio down here has gotten cringy as fuck. It really has.
I completely agree, because it allows us to be able to do these type of things unfiltered and go after that niche audience.
You said something that there's just so true. You said right now you put your stake in the ground and you get your real estate. Yeah. Where was it, in Oklahoma, where they gave people 4 wooden stakes and they said go claim your land, and that's how like people got their land back in the day. That's what this is right here. If you have a good podcast, not just any podcast, I'm not saying that if you can record yourself and put it out, it's going to be good. If you have a good podcast, it'll be better than radio. Yeah. I think it sounds better. I think it's got better content, and it's more easily accessible, or easily more accessible. I don't know how you say that.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
You can now radio has jumped on the apps and stuff, but because of podcasts.
It's interesting because I was taking out ads in iHeartRadio, because there's a self-serve platform now for you can make your own radio ads on the internet. So I was running my podcast ads for 2 months. I love to test out advertising. That's literally what I do. Yeah. So they figured out when small business owners are on the radio, and apparently it's on Sunday night and Tuesday night from 7 and 11 p.m. I don't know how they know.
It's weird how they know. It's
a very strange world, but I tested it out, and I think I spent like $280 for those 2 time slots each day, and it was all right. I mean, I didn't see anything from it, but I can do so much more on social media.
It's also your first round. Was it your first round? Yeah. You once you start buying into like the 5 o'clock traffic jam kind of thing, you keep shoving that shit down there, or you make like a really catchy slogan or some bullshit like Dale Gas or some shit like that.
4.
Yeah, that's the Davis Law Firm. I even know that one. But yeah, I think first time maybe could help out, but I think it's got to take a little more than the first time.
Yeah, and I'll always test stuff. I love Snapchat ads. They literally ripped off Facebook's ad platform and integrated it into their system, and the impressions and the reach are so ridiculously cheap. We did them for South Texas Comic Con.
Oh yeah,
my God, man, Ramsey was loving it. Dude.
I liked the videos. You were making the videos with Freddie Vela, right?
Yeah,
the guy's gotten really good.
Yeah.
What does he do nowadays?
I honestly don't know.
Because gets on camera like he's a natural. He just does that.
Yeah, we had an anime fiesta this past time, and it was a big event, dude. Yeah. I think Ramsey loves billboards. He loves TV, and that's the one thing I hate. I was dude, why are you doing that, man? I'm super bullish about everybody. There's lawyer wars about billboards, man, and I'm super bullish. Like, take that money and put it into digital, man. Hire me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You see, it's a little bit of an older crowd, though. Like I know one guy. I don't know one guy. There's a guy in Alamo as you're doing the Harlingen split there.
Is it Reina?
Yeah. He's an old dude, but he's on that billboard. Yeah. Because he's an old guy. Yeah. So maybe he's just like, oh, let me buy the billboard instead of
Do you think it's just me and you that see those billboards because we're in this industry?
We pay attention to them. Yeah. Everybody sees them, but it's just kind of like, okay. For example, as you're coming back into Edinburgh, and where was it Far Gym? That little.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right when you're doing that bend to come in, and where the McAllen roads meet up, there was a billboard there for Ramsey Construction, and it was beat to shit. I'm talking for like a decade, and I thought, man, who the fuck is paying this shitty thing to be up here, and why hasn't anybody got it? I saw that every fucking time I passed it, and I would literally out loud be like, wow, that is an ugly fucking billboard. It was just beat up, and you could barely see it. It said Ramsey Construction, and over the years, it went away. You couldn't even see it. Somebody went and finally took over it. I don't know if it was Lamar Billboard or who. I don't know if it was a private owned, but they finally put up a new ad there, and I was like, wow, that guy right there, man, he was smart. Like, that is right there.
Yeah. I bet you that's prime real estate too, right there, man.
What do you think about versus the poster that stays there, or the digital
billboards? I like the digital billboard. I think that's their way of combating social media, because you get one billboard with one picture.
$400 a month. That's it. But you can get fucking 7 slides in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also 3 seconds long.
Yeah.
So either maybe somebody will see it or not.
Yeah, you driving by. Hey, we got to do this.
Yeah,
it's just really quick.
I don't know, man. I got a
I need the hemorrhoid cream. Turn around. I think I saw a fucking ad for a coupon. Walgreens.
I have a personal issue with billboards because I get it. Like, I get
They're taking your job. I get it.
I'm going after them, man, because you can do so much more in digital. Like, we can throw out ads, we can track them, we can collect the data.
Yeah, you really
do
can.
that stuff. Like, billboard, what? You get one picture?
A billboard, yeah, and you just be like, well, people drive by it. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And in reality, people shouldn't be staring at a fucking billboard when they're driving.
They're looking at their phone, by the way, driving.
I know, yeah.
Which is worse, man.
Yeah, you're right.
ALS. Let's talk about ALS.
Kiss My ALS, man. That is going strong. This is the 3rd year that we're doing it, and that's actually tonight. Tonight is obviously past since now that you're listening to it. That's why I'm here in the Valley. I drove in. I was talking about it earlier, how I drove in right after work, got out at 4. I drove in because I like to spend all day here instead of just showing up right before an event. I get to spend time with the family and stuff like that. And for this event, spending time with family was important to me because this is somebody's father. This is somebody's brother. This is somebody's uncle. I gotten really close to Brandon Luna, Andy Luna's son. This is the man that we're throwing a group effort. Kiss My ALS 3. You were involved in...
Yeah, I was involved from the beginning. So I don't know if you know this. Andy and I used to play in a band back in the day.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we developed a really good relationship. I know his wife, really good, Susie. And I actually did a recording of her talking about her situation with Andy. Like, it's obviously a heartbreaking situation.
Yeah, it really is, man.
But I didn't follow his journey, like getting ALS. Like we ended up breaking up the band. He went his own way, and then after that, I hear a few years later that his health just literally disintegrated. It's horrible disease.
It really is, man. The first year we did it at Flying Walrus, and he was there. Yeah. He was there for half the night, and then he started not feeling too well. And the second year he wasn't able. I think he was hospitalized. He was unable to attend. And this year we're hoping I mean, right now it's a beautiful day out. Yeah. We're hoping that it doesn't get too cold, but Brandon said, God willing, that he'll be out there tonight, so it'll be cool. But you get a lot of vendors that come out. We're gonna have Josh Lopez of Widowmaker Studios running sound. You're gonna be out there. I'm gonna be hosting it for the third year, and my thing is, I told Brandon, he reached out to me a few weeks back. Well, I gotta say more than a few weeks now. He was a little upset that I wasn't gonna be down here to host it, and I said, dude, I watch you do these every year, and we see him do it once a year. Yeah. But he does this every day, having to deal with his dad going in and out of the hospital and him taking care of him. And I just see one of the strongest individuals that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. And for me, that was important. This is all, everybody that works tonight, everybody that works at these events, it's all voluntary. It's all like we donate our time. And it's really because the guy is he's a fighter. He's a fighter. The family is just they're so strong. And like I said, I like to spend time with the family before. That way I know how to open the show. I know how to open the show because I'm grateful for what I have, and I see somebody that's still grateful for what they have at the level that they have it. And if the least I can do is come down here and drive the 4 hours, it's no big deal. I sang the whole way down. You know what I mean? I ate donuts and sang the whole way. That is gonna be. It'll help him, and he'll feel good. It's one less thing he's got to worry about. And if I could do that, man, I feel good too. So
yeah, no, I agree, man. I think the community coming together, and there's a lot of different people that are coming to this. It's just not rockers. It's just not.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of people that put their time and energy into this. And Brandon, obviously, he's shooting me texts. Can you update this? Can you update this?
He's so on everything, dude.
He's on everything.
Yeah,
I just find it very. It's very commendable what he's doing. And also Andy, like he's just a cool guy. Like everything I've ever known about him, his life, he was a police officer, a detective.
I was never able to meet him before the unfortunate diagnosis. But I lived in Edinburgh. I've lived in Edinburgh since I moved to the Valley, and he was an officer. He served our community. So what I try and repeat throughout the night is the man served his community, and it's our time to serve him, kind of thing. And not only are we raising some money, we're raising awareness too. This is it's really bad, fucking shitty, horrible thing for someone to have to go through, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I believe they have a ALS walk every year. I think it just happened this past Saturday. The wife had invited me out, but I didn't have a chance to go. But it's obviously to raise awareness and stuff like that. I think the closest clinic for ALS is probably in San Antonio or Austin. So they're trying to bring one down here to the Valley, but I don't think it's come to fruition yet. But yeah, it's a horrible disease, man. I mean, if you see him and he talks through a computer, the way it works is he looks at the words and then it says it.
Really? Yeah. I have not seen him as progressed as you're saying right now.
Yeah, and that was probably 2 years ago that I saw him. Oh, so man. I'm sure it's gotten a lot worse. I mean, I think the mortality rate for that is 5 years or something. But
well, he's been a fighter, man, and we're hoping tonight we can bring a little bit of relief to the family, showing the support, and they can see the community come together. They can get maybe a little bit of I know the little drop in the bucket of the money that we're going to raise tonight doesn't really do really anything, but it's something, and I think that's really all he cares about, man.
Yeah, No, I agree, man. I think Brandon is a great guy, and once we get past this, he's always back into the community. Yeah. He's an officer now, right?
Yeah, he's a Falfurious PD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to be coming in hot. So if you see a blue Buick, just let me go.
Didn't you meet him? He went to like a...
Yeah. Funny story. When I was jamming for the Perfused, I was playing bass at Andrew Rain's house. We were practicing for a show. It was a Widowmaker showcase for Joshua Lopez. I was already on the way out. I had my instrument, and I was walking from the garage through the house to leave out the front door. And I was going to my show, to the radio show on the queue. And I opened the door, and we hadn't heard that there was a cop banging on the door because we were too loud, which he was coming to stop. And I opened the door, and I see a cop standing there, and I went, oh, we were probably too loud. Let me get the man of the house real quick. And I shut the door and I turn around and I tell Andrew's wife, hey, Tisha, it's the fucking cops. Go get Andrew. And she goes, just tell him you're Vinny D. He'll go away. And I was like, yeah, fucking right. Nobody knows who I am. So Andrew comes to the door. He opens it, and the cop is Brandon. And he goes, hey, aren't you Vinny D? And I turned slowly back to Tisha, and she looked at me like, see, motherfucker, I told you. And I was like, what the fuck? And he goes, I met you at Killswitch Engage. The Killswitch Engage Anthrax show had just happened not too long before that. And again, like, I hadn't remembered meeting him, and I didn't recognize him, but he recognized me. And he was telling Andrew, like, yeah, we were already done. He was like, yeah, we got a couple of noise complaints, but don't worry about it if you're done already. He was super cool. So he reaches to his belt, and he gets his phone and tells Andrew, hey, can you take a picture of me and Vinny? And Andrew takes
the picture I saw.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. He's like, why not, right? It just takes the picture. Such a good moment. And it was shortly after that. Hold on, I'm going too fast. And then 2 days later was that Widowmaker showcase, and Brandon was there. He stayed the whole night and watched every band, and we got to know him a little bit better. And shortly after that, he asked me to do the hosting and stuff, and that was cool, And now I told him, man, I'm in it. Like, even if I'm not hosting, I want to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
So he's like, nah, man, you're going to be our host all the time. I was like, that's cool, man. I'll make sure and put the day aside. And it really was no big deal. I say that now because I have the day off, but I worked 9 fucking days in a row.
Jeez, man.
And I told him, I was like, man, Brandon, I'm working 9 days in a row. I can't wait to get down there and have a Lone Star with you. And he goes, dude, I'm working 9 days in a row too, to have these 2 days off. And I was like, all right, man, we're going to feel good together tonight. And he has a good time. I know he's dealing with what he's dealing with, but he deals with his own way, and he enjoys what the event is about. Right. Because like I said, we see him one day out of the year deal with it. But for him, that one day out of the year is a little bit of a relaxation kind of day. It's different for him than it is for us seeing it on the out.
And he does have relief, because I seen him on stage. He's going crazy.
Dude. Dude. Last year he sang.
Yeah,
he was good. He was really good.
So that obviously dealing with ALS, a lot of people deal with different issues in life. Mental health is something I try to talk about on every podcast, because I work with the CAC, with child abuse, but I also see a lot of mental health issues that are coming in to the valley, or just you're hearing it everywhere. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on mental health?
It's a fucking real thing, for number one, because people always say, well, you're just being crazy. Oh, you don't be sad. No, man, it's a real thing. Even as kind of like even anxiety. As little of a thing as anxiety. I had to go to the doctor. I had a little health scare not too long ago. There's somebody coming up for the lawnmower driving past your house. Anyway, I had a health scare. Had to go to the hospital one night at work. I was having chest pains. Like, I thought I was having a heart attack. No bullshit. And it turns out I have really bad asthma since I was a kid. And I wasn't treating it properly. So my ribs and everything inside was getting inflamed. And it was pushing on other things, and I was having like pain in my arm. It was pushing on nerves. So they put me on on inflammatories or whatever. But the doctor asked me why I was, kind of jittery. Doctors, they're very observant, especially if they're seeing you for the first time. And I'd never met this guy, Dr. Pham. He's Pham now,
Interesting.
And he told me, he was like, well, you have, really high anxiety. I'm going to put you on some anxiety meds. And I went, no, you're not. Sorry, man. I just don't. I smoke pot. I smoke pot because of the fact that I don't want to have to be on anxiety meds and then one day for maybe a couple of hours in between prescription fills, I don't have my pill and then I lose my fucking mind even worse than before. And then the side effects, I'm very anti medicine. I don't even take an ibuprofen for a hangover. Just recently I started taking stuff for heartburn because, getting old's a bitch. But I'm now as an older, in my adult life, I try to, if somebody's got something, they have to get something off their chest or they're a little more on the awkward side. I'm not even quick to judge anymore. I was a big fucking bully when I was a young kid. And a lot of it had to do with mental health. Like some kids just weren't right. And you know what? I wasn't right for a long time. I got addicted to fucking I got wound up in the spice fucking wave.
Okay.
I was
the synthetic weed.
I was heavily addicted to that for 5 years. I was smoking pot. I got a job working medical transportation, and I couldn't smoke weed, but I still wanted to feel nice and relaxed and get high. I went over to the smoke shop, and they had this stuff there, and it was all organic. It was all
legal.
Yeah. And I started smoking it, and then they take it off the shelves, and they fucking make it illegal. Now I'm having to find a dealer on the fucking street like a crackhead. Bro, I was spending our last $20 on shit, and I was withdrawing in my sleep. I would fall asleep high on this shit. I would fall asleep with my pipe in my hand because it's just smokable heroin. That's all it is. Yeah. And I would wake up in the middle of the night having to take a shit, just be really sweaty and gross. Didn't know what the hell was going on. I was withdrawing in my sleep. I was sleeping too long without smoking this shit.
Damn.
So I would have to have a bowl fucking right next to me, ready to go, or else I would just be sick. Bro, I functioned like this my first full year not my first full year, but my first, I was with the Q for a while, and I couldn't even laugh on air because I was so congested that I sounded like a 60, 70-year-old man, and it got to me, and one night I had a really bad scare. A friend of mine him and I split a bag. I was smoking 10 grams of this shit a day.
Damn.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
10, 20 grams of this shit a day. That's like a $50 bag a day. And my buddy and I split a bag, and he ended up in the hospital. And I was just like, I knew I felt weird in this batch because they were outlawing it. Then they were saying that it was okay. Then people were finding loopholes, and then they were making different shit. Nobody knew what the fuck it was. All I knew was that I needed it. And I just one day, man, I kicked it, and I wasn't right for a month.
Shit.
I couldn't fucking even get a hard on for a month. Damn. Bro. Fucked my body up. This shit was the worst. And I've been clean now for going on 4 years, man. Like it was tough, dude. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Wow.
No bullshit. It was fucking painful. I was sweaty for 2 weeks straight. I couldn't eat for fucking 4 days straight. And then for a month, I was just weird, and my body wasn't acting right. Like I'm telling you, I couldn't do shit all day. But it was just, it was really good to be off of that and to be feeling normal again. And I'm not going to lie when I say that, I feel like there's still some kind of long-term effects from as much shit as I smoked. I forget simple words sometimes. And I'm like, it's a square, I can't. And, I did it to yourself. I did it to myself. I'm not, it's not like a pity thing or anything, but that's just what it was, man. It's, it's a mental thing. You need that fucking, I have an addictive personality. What can I say,
Yeah, that stuff, that spice that came out, it came on the market for a very short time.
Very short amount of time.
Hard.
Yeah.
And then they started taking it off the shelves, and like you said, became illegal. Yep. That's kind of like what Big Pharma does. Is they have these pills, and once they outlaw it, they change one ingredient, one molecule, so now it's a different thing. Yep. And now they do it again.
And there's a whole set of other fucking side effects with just that one little change. You know what I mean?
It's insane, man. I'm trying to find somebody in the doctor industry or Big Pharma.
I know a pharmaceutical rep.
Sweet. I'll talk to him, Kevin.
If he comes to the Valley, he just moved to San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a family member.
I'm really interested in the opiate crisis. It's a huge epidemic.
I had to watch my mom She's probably going to hate me for saying this, but like I said, I don't like to censor anything, and she's better now. But she lived in Oklahoma where the doctors didn't have to see you. They could just send you a prescription, and they were fucking sending her morphine.
Wow.
And her new doctor, now she lives in the Valley, her new doctor is apparently part of like the board of doctors that make all the laws in Texas. And he was like, this is not happening anymore. And he took her off the morphine, and she went through the same withdrawals that I went through when I was getting off the spice. And I saw this with her. I don't know if she could get a hard on or not, but I saw this. Like, she wasn't feeling good. And I showed up one day and she's like, don't even come over here. I don't look good. I don't feel good. And I went over there and I said, Ma, I know exactly what you're going through. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's cool. Like, you don't have to keep me away. I know it. I know how this is, how you're doing. And she would just tell me, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how the hell you did it, but it was horrible. But yeah, this guy, there's a new law now. You cannot be prescribed morphine unless you're a terminal cancer patient.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, she was just, I mean, I'm talking fucking years, man. We used to walk into the kitchen. She'd be asleep, standing up, doing the dishes.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, like just standing there. And it was bad, but it wasn't even her fault. It was the doctor, like, got her put on it and then would just send it to her. She didn't even see the fucking guy, you know?
Wow. That's insane, man.
Yeah. And he's just getting, these doctors get kickbacks from these companies.
Yeah.
The more, the more you put them on it. Yeah, they would give you a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, the world we live in is very strange. It's you get compensated for giving literally diabolical fucking drugs to people.
You look at that one guy, that Jorge Quisada or whatever. Yeah, dude, he was putting people on chemo that weren't even cancer patients. He was fucking killing these people just to make almost $250 million.
What kind of mind frame do you have to fucking be in?
How do you sleep at night?
Yeah.
When your patient is you just leave your office. I'm gonna put this fucking bitch on chemo. Well, her hair's falling out. She can't. It's poison. Chemotherapy. Her hair's falling out. She feels like shit. Well, I'm gonna go count my fucking money and go to sleep normal. What? Really? That guy has some mental issues. He himself needs to be looked at. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not right if you do that shit to people. And
that's why I am an advocate for legal marijuana. I think it is going to open up opportunities for people to look back at themselves and say, all right, you don't need hard fucking drugs.
Yeah, dude. I know, man.
So what's your stance on marijuana?
Dude, I'm all about it. I'm just sitting here waiting for it to be legalized, and not because I want to go out and smoke in public. I smoke wherever the fuck I want already anyway. But have you ever seen the cannabis refugees? YouTube?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I think it's what it's called. But it's basically these families that have kids that, like the kids that have seizures every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
They've got to move to different states to get these THC oils. There's this one video I'll never forget. This kid just having nonstop seizures, and the family had to move from where they lived to Colorado. They had to uproot everything. They had nobody in Colorado, but they were just so desperate. The pills that they were putting the kid on was making him really weird and zombied out, and it wasn't really helping. They show the video of them rolling the THC oil onto his feet, and within 30 seconds, he stops and he just relaxes and he's normal. And you just, at that moment, you feel so good for the parents because, man, we have kids ourselves. Yeah. If I had to see my kid, I would do anything. I would move her to fucking Mars if that was the thing. But I'm just like, these people that are making all the money on the medication and shit like that, that's all it is. It's just money. They don't want this shit to be out there because it's going to fix them and make them, it's going to fix the patient and make the doctor broke. Yeah. And the pharmaceutical reps broke and all that shit.
So how do we educate people, especially here in the Valley? Because we grew up in a place where my mom and my dad were like, do not touch that stuff.
That weed is a drug. Yeah.
Like, dare. How do you combat that? Like,
you have to hit it in the schools, man. Where the way they were telling us that it was a drug and it was bad, you got to send somebody in there. I told my daughter I smoked pot. I waited till she was 13, and she brought up this. She saw Bella Thorne on an Adam Sandler movie, Blended. We watched it all the time. She goes, Dad, Bella Thorne, she's kind of weird now. She was apparently a Disney star or whatever. She's like, she's kind of weird now, Dad. I said, why is she weird? Well, she likes to have boyfriends and girlfriends at the same time. And I went, oh, yeah. She likes to party is what you're saying. So anyway, she goes, Well, she also smokes the marijuana. And my daughter's like, she's a goofball. So she went like, the marijuana. And I went, well, that doesn't make somebody weird. And that was like my perfect segue in. And I had been trying to figure out a way to tell her that I smoke pot. And it was because I'm too high strung without it. So I kind of segued in with that. And I went, oops, sorry. I went, and it wasn't the easiest transition. I'm horrible at this shit. So I went, yeah, that doesn't make somebody weird if they smoke weed. I smoke shitload of weed. she looked at me and I went, I mean, not a shitload. I smoke. And she was like, oh, okay. She wasn't weirded out about it, but I told her about this video that I just told you about. I wanted her to know that scientists over 100 fucking times have proven that it kills cancer and that it helps people. I wanted her to know that. I don't want her to think that it's a drug, because it's not a drug. Weed is not a drug. It's a plant. Sorry, sorry if anybody thinks otherwise, but it's not. But I told her, and I feel a lot better now. And she's not into it. That's not her thing. At her age, I was already ready to smoke. I started smoking when I was 15, but my first time was at 14. And I've been smoking ever since. I fucking smoked before I came over here, so because I knew I was gonna have to be in traffic all the way from South Alamo. But yeah, man, I think it's a good thing, and I just can't wait for Texas to finally legalize it. Not just so we can all smoke out in public, but just so people that actually need the health benefits from it, they actually can get it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think alcohol kills more people than
it really does. It's weed. Fucking horrible. I will drink the shit out of it, but your liver doesn't get damaged from smoking weed.
Yeah.
And if you like me, I'm trying to find other ways to do it. I'll take oil, like a THC, straight up 100% THC oil. I haven't made any in a while, but I shouldn't be smoking because I have asthma. But I can always have the health benefits of pot if I wanted to. I'm a little lazy. I just like to smoke it in a pipe.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Yeah. No, like I said, man, I see the future of cannabis being fruitful, obviously for people that are going to get into the business, but it has a huge benefit for the people that are going to be part of it.
Everybody wins. Yeah. The taxes that come off of it, are huge. Goes right to your state. What are you not going to want? Fucking $1 billion a year from multiple companies. Of course, the businessman makes money in his pocket. The patient gets better. There's less fucking crowding in the jails because of pot. Come on. Yeah, everybody wins, man. And it's just like there are states that are just like, yeah, cool. They're legalizing it. They're expunging records back to like 25 years. And they're releasing people from jail for just weed charges. And then now I hear here in Texas that like under an ounce, they'll let you go. I don't know. I ain't about to test that shit, though. I'll tell you. Sir, is there anything in the car I need to know about? Yeah, just under an ounce of weed. I'm good to go, right? Can we smoke this together? Or
So before we finish off the podcast, I love Elon Musk, man. He's one of my guys that I look up to, and Tesla. I mean, everything that he does.
SpaceX right here in the valley.
It's awesome, man. He has Neuralink, which is something. It's a program where you'll be able to input. You'll be able to attach yourself to a computer, right? So you'll be able to upload your memories and download skills.
I'm going to upload my favorite porno videos. Is what I'm going to
do. Would you be somebody that would do that?
Never,
No, why?
I would never do that. Stephen Hawking said AI will be the downfall of the human race. I believe something like that. And I just don't want to fuck with computers. Computers can be hacked. I don't want to be hacked. I don't think I would do it.
What do you think about self-driving cars?
Going back to the neuro thing, I think it's cool. I do, and I want to see somebody be the smartest person in the world. With the cars, it's a little more. Again, a car can be hacked. Somebody can hack in. Do you have any like smart appliances or?
No, I just smart TVs.
A smart TV.
So, yeah. Apparently,
people can hack in through your thermostats, through your coffee machines, your refrigerators. I don't know, man. I for one wouldn't want to be a test guinea pig for it, but I'm so down for the technology. I really am.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. What comes
really,
from it.
Really is. But Isn't Google like supposedly this massive thing that every question you ask, it's learning?
They have a quantum. They just achieved quantum. I forget what the second part of quantum something, where it could. I think the machine can do something within an hour, or, that it could nothing could have happened within 10,000 years or some shit like that. It's crazy.
It's wild. So like from what I heard, the understanding is this thing is going to be the super AI, and everything that everybody has ever asked, it knows now. So it knows everything, Yeah. Like that's a little weird.
I mean, we have it in our pockets. We have Google. We can get instant.
I have a ZTE, so I don't think I have that much. My fucking GPS doesn't even work. No, but I'm all for the technology and what it can do. But yeah, I wouldn't myself try and be on a trial or anything like that.
So what do you think about all these big companies that have everybody's information? Like information and data literally just took the place of oil as far as the number one resource.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Like obviously Facebook, Google, and Instagram, they have every piece of information, every photo. They know we're married. They know we have kids. They know you're driving from Austin over here.
Yeah, because I was connected. I had my location on. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's wild. I was just telling. What the fuck were you talking about right now? I've just lost train of thought because we went off.
Data and information?
Yeah. Okay. I was just telling my daughter how, remember that age app?
Yeah.
The aging app, how it was like a Russian company. And they said, well, you used our app. And in the term of agreements said, well, we get to use your picture now for anything. So I told Allison that. I said, because she has this new app that her and her friends do called Photo Roulette. Photo Roulette is probably not for you or I. It's basically what it is. It's you and your friends log in and you give this app permission to go into your albums, and it'll throw a picture out for everyone that's in the group to see, and you have to guess whose camera it came from. Interesting. I don't know. Yeah. So I told Allison, I was like, hey, you remember that age app? And I told her about it, and she was like, what do you mean? I said, what it means is, you remember I made a picture, but I screenshotted it. I didn't save it or upload it. But anybody right now could be on a fucking cookie wrapper from the Valley, or, in Russian cookies, Russian fucking detergent, or from my understanding, they can use your shit for anything they want. Or like, when you go into the DMV and there's a fucking guy that looks like a douchebag and he's being arrested because he's a douchebag, and it's a picture of one of us from the Valley and it's in a Russian DMV. You're like, what the fuck, man? I didn't give him that picture. Well, in my land of Mother Russia, when you use Face app, we keep everything for us and we use it for us. That's right. Baryshnikov. But yeah, no, you read the term of agreements. If you don't agree, you can't use the app. Are you not going to use the app, or are you going to agree for them to take your fucking firstborn?
Yeah, data and information is really good for marketers and advertisers like me, but I do see like there is a huge concern for it for like people that I don't show my kids on camera anymore. Like on Facebook, I rarely ever show them.
I don't do the extensive sharing. I'll show a picture. I'll share a picture of Allison or whatever, but I have friends that are teachers, and they'll take pictures of their class and upload them, and I don't think that's right. Yeah. Actually, I think that's illegal.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and there's a lot of fucking weird people out there. Sex trafficking is like at an all-time fucking high. Human trafficking is weird. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
be careful what you do.
You have to be very careful of what you share because everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody can see it. So before we finish off the podcast, in your 32 years of life, your experience, everything that you've done, what's your best piece of advice for anybody, for somebody that wants to just live life happy?
I always tell everybody, my best advice to you is not to take anybody's advice. Is to live your own shit and do your own make your own mistakes. Go out and make a mistake and learn from it. Don't be cautious because somebody told you to. Don't not go to a concert because somebody said that the band is washed up. Like, do your own thing, I think.
No, I 100% agree. I feel like everybody's waiting for that permission from somebody.
Yeah,
Like, who cares?
I don't give a fuck. You're not paying my fucking bills.
Yeah. At the end of your life, you're gonna look back and say, "Shit, man, I should have got it."
Yeah, dude. You know, I'm all about doing your own thing, man. And if it means, you know, hey, well, I tried this and I fucked up. You know, I tried doing something and I fucked up, but I tried. You know.
Yeah. Vinny, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Hey, man, I appreciate you bringing me into your fabulous home, and it's amazing. You gave me tequila at fucking 11 in the morning.
That is true. You
I'm
want to
not
take
gonna
another
lie.
one? Don Sueños, by the way.
You know what? I'll take a half a shot. I gotta go and take a little nappy because I'm gonna go over to Minga's legacy. That's not a half, Joshua.
It's just a little bit. Oh, Minga, I love Minga. I love fucking shit. It's escaping me right now.
Dave Cañas. I'm gonna go over there and get a little haircut for the show tonight.
He's a cool guy, man. Yeah. All right, cheers, guys. We'll see you soon.
The Joshua Morales podcast, right here.
Boom. Got it.